Hello everybody, George Lair here with First United Land Transfer, and with me today is Jesse Roldan.
The one and only.
That's it, that's right. So, Jesse, man, thanks so much for being here with me. Today, what I really want to talk about is you've just become a homeowner again.
Yeah, again.
So,
Again.
But let's talk about that, because the process itself of being a homeowner is humbling.
It really is. And so the thing that I find it kind of shocking, and I'll start with this statement. I was not only the hair club president, I was also a client.
Yeah, of course.
And if anybody out there that has been past 30 years old probably remember that commercial. And you know, the funny thing is, you know, you think you're ready for home ownership, but sometimes you realize you're not. And I've owned in excess of 7 properties in my life. I own an investment property. I have a property out of this country right now, but nothing really gets you ready for it. And you know, I know we don't have that much time, so we're going to make it quickly. But basically, what happened was we were renting for a few years. I was comfortable with that. I was building my career again.
Of course.
And then I said to my wife, I said, let's move to Whitehall, and maybe we'll rent for like a year and a half, and see what happens. And my lender decided that I was pre-qualified.
Very nice.
And as you know, being a lender, you being a lender, I got excited. I said, you know what? We love the house. It's a nice neighborhood. My wife loves to be near everything. And we started the process. And to my shock, I wasn't ready for it. I thought I was ready, but I wasn't ready for it. I think what happened was I went into it thinking, okay, you know, I'm approved for FHA. You know, this is going to be clear and simple. It's 3.5% down. I know the program. I'm a realtor. I'm a lender. I know what I'm doing. But I wasn't ready for it. So I think what happens if I myself, as a realtor, as a licensed professional, as a real estate team leader, as a commercial lender, if I wasn't ready, how many people out there are not really ready because they watch too much HDTV or they're watching something else and they think that they can become a homeowner,
right,
and they don't realize the impact it's going to have on their family for the next 90 days. This is a huge impact.
Of course, I mean, you have to have the right people in the right circle, as you mentioned.
Yeah, you have to have the right people in your circle. You have to have the right support system. And you have to have the education that clearly defines where you are, because in life you're either repairing or you are progressing. And if you're in the repairing mode, for example, you may have bad credit or you don't have the credit score that you need. You're in repairing mode. You're not in progressive mode. So you have to first repair those things to make sure you have your seasoned money in your bank account. Make sure that you have 2 years of W-2s and everything you need to have so that when you do make the decision to be able to become a homeowner, it goes smoothly. There is no surprises.
Indeed.
I think that if I had to do it all over again, I would have wanted to sit down with somebody who says, look, Jesse, let's look at your P&L, let's look at your finances, let's look at where you are, let's look at your banking, let's look at everything. Okay, we could do this, but we could do this in 6 months. We could do this in 8 months, realistically. Here's your plan. Follow this plan. If you follow this plan, this is the kind of house you'll be able to get. What kind of house do you want to get? Maybe you ask that question. I want to live in my country. I want a $300,000 house. Well, in order for you to get to that $300,000 house, this is the income you're going to have. This is where you need to be at. A lot of times I work with buyers, and they'll say, hey, Jesse, recently we got a pre-approval for $100,000. The lady said, there's no way I want a $100,000 house. I want a $180,000 house. We can pay for it. Yes, you can pay for it, but you don't have the guidelines. You don't have the education to be able to do that. I think that the buyers that are looking to buy a home, I think that the biggest thing that I will say is we have to really look at realistically where we stand today. If you know where you stand today, then you know where you're heading tomorrow. You know, right now I know I have to lose 60 pounds. I can't go start jumping off of, airplanes and doing things that I'm going to be able to do in 60 pounds
Until
later.
you're actually ready to.
Until I'm actually ready.
Right.
Now, I love my friend.
Nice analogy.
Yeah, my friend Aon, I love him to death. He loves to bike ride. He's at another level. He goes down the mountains, up and down. He's like, Jesse, let's go bike riding. I'm like, not yet.
Right.
A year and a half from now, after a year and a half of training and losing 60 pounds and getting my body into that shape, then I'll be able to possibly follow along. So we have to know what we're chewing. If we're biting more than we can chew, then that's the problem. And I think that as we are now in the high season of home ownership and people really want to buy homes, I think the first thing they need to do is really find themselves a competent realtor, a good real estate team, or somebody in the industry that's willing to sit down and consult with them and say, listen, let's sit down. Let's have a non-binding conversation. Let's sit down, have a cup of coffee, and let's talk about how and where you are today, so you know where you will be tomorrow.
Kind of like having a roadmap to.
I wish I
right?
wish someone would have done that with me. I had 2 nervous breakdowns through the process. I am very grateful every day I get up. I live in a beautiful neighborhood in Whitehall. I love my house. Very grateful to everybody I work with, but I wish I would have done it different. I think that I would not have had the, I guess the stumps in the road. I
Right.
think that it would have saved me a lot of tears, a lot of headaches. There's a lot that I learned through the process, and you really think you know everything about home ownership because, hey, I'm in the industry. It's kind of like being a mechanic and there's a problem with your vehicle that you didn't know that you can fix.
Right.
So I think that's the best way to put it. You need to be educated and you need to find a real estate professional that will sit down with you without wanting to sell you immediately and try to, okay, let's go look at houses. No, let's sit down and let's have a conversation and see if you're even ready to become a homeowner, because you may not be ready.
Exactly. So there you go. Before you actually decide that you want to buy a house, which is an impressive thing, you also have to remember that it's going to be a humbling decision, and that there's going to probably be a couple of little stepping stones and milestones to actually get to where you need to be. But it's always best to work with somebody who has your best interest in mind. Jesse, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. The coffee's awesome, and this is Bustelo, right?
Cafe Bustelo.
Oh my goodness.
It's pretty.
I'm allowed to say that there's good cookies here, right? Amazing cookies to go with this coffee.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Again, George Lair, First United Land Transfer with Jesse Roldan. See you again soon.
Hey.